the rights of old people, grannies and grandpas, of orphans, the rights of the young, the small children, are protected in African societies in a big way. The welfare of an old person is not outsourced to strangers in Africa, whereas the rights of these people in the West are very, the rights are being ignored, or they are being outsourced and they are being commercialized to the extent that these people are treated like a separate society, and they are detained in places where they are called old people's homes. These people are also the source of income for the displaced, economically displaced people in Africa who go there to take care of them at a basic amount of money, which is a premium in Africa. The whole setup is very cruel to these old people and orphans. This is what they call development in the West, when they throw away their fathers and mothers and separate them from their granddaughters and grandchildren, and they pretend that is development. We must, as Africans, avoid such scenarios and such forms of development where our fathers and mothers are detained behind the walls and being abused by strangers, and we pretend that that is development. It's very sad when you go to those places. I had a number of friends. I will remember one in particular whom I asked if, when we visited a mother, a father who had passed on in an old people's home, very sad event, because the old man was very acute. He had a sharp mind. He was a teacher. He used to write very beautiful books and poems for children, but he never had the pleasure of sitting with a grandchild in his own home. They carted him and shanghaied him to an old people's home. That's where he died. Now, when I arrived there, I found that his wife was still alive. It was very sad. When she asked the child, the daughter, who was a very educated person, a respectable person, if she could come home and visit, the daughter who was educated said no, she was going to visit at that old people's home. The sad part is, the meetings between the mother and the children or the granddaughters was always at the pleasure of those left at home. This was who was jailed in a old people's home, was reduced to a less than a beggar situation, where the movement was limited, the time to sleep was limited. Any activities she did was at the pleasure of the people employed to control her around that facility that was called an old people's home or a retirement home or any other name they prefer to make grandiose and make euphemistic and make look nice. But the sad part of it is that these people are suffering. Those things don't happen in China, for example, in Russia. They don't happen in India. They don't happen in Africa. They happen in Europe, in the West, in the EU, in the USFA, in Australia, in New Zealand, in such places where these cruel governments don't care about the welfare of their elderly. They are hell-bent on making money and being free to walk around in their underwear without kind regard of the elderly. Now, these people will tell you who to sleep with, but they will not take care of their elderly. What cruelty is that? What kind of world and what kind of development is that? When is Africa going to denounce those those rights that are being infringed on these cruel governments and these cruel societies. This must stop, because this is against God. The first 10 commandments I have known is that love thy father and mother, so that your days on earth will be made long. But these people don't care. That's how cruel they are. You see them come around asking about LGBTQ and what. These people are cruel. I want to thank you.